United fans are in meltdown after last night's clanger. Oh.
Just when you think things are turning the right way, this is a group of players who find new depths to sink to. I think that performance last night, in many ways, was worse than what happened against Grimsby.
Last night we looked absolutely awful. And I'm telling you what, I was sat in the stretch there last night and you could hear the pin drop. It's absolutely embarrassing. So where do we go from here?
He's got to go. He's clueless. As soon as he got off last night, he should have changed it. He's too pig-headed. As I said to the lady earlier, I'd rather have Gareth Southgate than him.
Well, where was the engine tonight? Where was when Bruno Fernandes tonight, his crossing passing was an absolute joke.
Imagine going to Bayern Munich on Wednesday night and playing them. They put 10 past us. Never mind beating Everton, a 10-man Everton at home.
One hell of a result, wasn't it? Jordan Pickford this morning must go.
Great result.
If he's going into training, he must feel $1 million. Some of this, I just watched some of his saves again there. Pickford, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Been excellent.
Yeah. So I think this was the annoying thing, I think, Ali, was despite playing 77 minutes with an extra man, I think that is the problem for United. They didn't have the nous to break them down.
Yep. I think you're right, mate. I think it's a big concern. But I did mention to you before, I was a little bit surprised that there was no kind of change in, no real change in tactics, no real change in personnel. I looked at the bench, and I'll mention to you again, Alan, and it'll be interesting to hear the man we've got coming on, his opinion on it. But I just think I looked at the bench, and there's nothing there standing out to me that's going to change and win a game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But listen, I thought Amarin was getting it together, and I'm not going to.
Well, I bet you there's been improvement. Of course there has.
I'm not going to slag him after that last night. I'm not, because I just think United were getting back. They're still miles away, and the way United. If you go back to Crikey, you go back to Gordon Hill, Willie Morgan, Georgie Best.
Yeah.
You go back to the great
Steve
wide
Coppell.
players, Stevie Coppell.
Bestie.
I go back to Jasper Olsen and Gordon when he was wide as well.
Giggs,
they've
Beckham.
always had fantastic wide. Oh, absolutely, there's 30, 40 of them.
Easy,
Ali.
Easy, mate.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know how you get back to that. I really don't. But that's what United are missing. Let's hear what Amarin had to say following that defeat last night, and why he didn't change it. Why didn't he change the formation, especially earlier?
In the end, if you look the game, you just look at Lenny and Luke Shaw as a centre back. I don't look like that. We left Mata on the middle, and Lenny has the opportunity to drive the ball. Luke the same way, and sometimes in moments that you are not playing well, without good decisions, you need to maintain the things that you train. So sometimes it's hard. People want to see more people in the box. I know for sure that is not going to help. Maybe if we have Harry Maguire, we can put Harry Maguire inside the box. But if the characteristics are not there, my feeling is that I can show something to the crowd. But in the end, my feeling is that that was the best decision to try to win the game.
Ruben Amarin, just thought another one there, Kanchelskis as well. Crikey, some great players. Right, let's get a take on it from an ex-United player. John is now a man who played for United for 12 years, winning 5 Premier League titles. John O'Shea joins us. John, a very good morning, John.
Good morning, John. How are you, mate?
Morning, guys. How are we doing? You okay?
We're top four.
John, it must have been hard watching last night. I watched the first half. I had to go to bed because I'm out early, but I really thought, I looked at it and I thought, well, now Everton are down to 10. It's only a matter of time before United get on level. But to be fair to Everton, they battled like mad. They worked worked so hard, and United just didn't have the brains to break them down.
Very frustrating, Alan. I was in at the game to keep an eye on Seamus Coleman and Jake O'Brien, so I had an Irish viewpoint on it, but it was very frustrating. As I said, credit to Jordan Pickford as well. Listen, he's pulled off a few big saves for them when they needed it, and credit to Everton in general, because as you said, they played very well and stuck. Apart from the incident, they stuck together very well and proved very frustrating for United. But as you said, I just can't get all the attacking talent they supposedly had on the pitch, and they just couldn't really sustain attacks, and they were putting in, I won't say pointless crosses, but for Tarkowski and Keane, it was perfect night for them because they were loving it.
Yeah.
John, see, looking at it, mate, Alan and I have been talking about it this morning, right? And listen, we've all got different opinions on the game, as you know, but I'm thinking to myself, when United get the man, obviously they go with the one-man advantage, I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe he will change the formation. I'm thinking to myself, the one thing that the coach probably has to do is stretch the game, get a bit of width on the pitch, you know, and kind of stretch Everton, make them work. And then they didn't really do that. And then the disturbing thing, as much as anything, John, I'm looking at the Man United bench, and there's nothing coming flashing out to me. Like, if you look at an Arsenal bench or a City bench or somebody else's bench, there's maybe 3 or 4 players that you think, well, there's an opportunity to change the game, to go and do something different. And I didn't think United had that, mate.
No, listen, it's worrying. I mean, obviously Sesko and Kuna were missing last night through knocks, but then you had obviously Mbeumo and Bruno. They were trying their best. Bruno, in fairness, was unlucky with a couple of great shots, and it looked like again he was going to be the only one. But as you said, the key bit, and listen, you'll know sometimes you get your joy against 10 men in the last 5-10 minutes of the game. If you move the ball really quick, as you said, if you stretch it, you'll wear them down. They'll eventually not be able to cover the spaces, and you'll take advantage from it. And it just wasn't the case last night. As you said, Everton were just able to cope with it. And listen, you could have brought one of the centre backs off and put on dropped one of the midfielders back and then sort of give young Shea Lacey a go at it. I know it wouldn't have been an ideal scenario to bring a young kid onto a pitch like that, but at least he would have had a freshness and a rawness about him that he might have been able to create something, because that's what the kid is all about, and hopefully going to be about, is creating goals and being a very attack-minded player. So maybe give him that opportunity last night, because you had nothing else to lose.
Yeah. To be fair, Pickford made some great saves as well, didn't he? You know, we're talking about, we've had United fans on here, John, saying it's the worst I've seen. Well, hold on a minute. You know, Pickford.
No, exactly.
Pickford made some crackers.
Yeah, they had the save from Xerxes' header in particular. I think that was the rest of them, I would say, for Jordan's standard, would be fairly comfortable for him. But that one was really special, the one he just touched around the post. But no, listen, you can understand the frustration, because I think United fans were hoping to be, obviously, I think a win last night would have took them to 5th in the table, I think, was it?
Oh, a bit more, I think. Yeah.
2 points off the top.
Yeah, so that's, I think, more of the frustration, really, and they feel, obviously, they've more attacking talent in the team this year, and I think it's just a real frustrating one at the minute, but also not just a decent run of fixtures, you'd say, coming up, but they were hoping to get that win against Everton to start